Hey friends, Angela here.
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm a cigar retail associate of James & Sons Tobacconist, where we are filming here today, and I'm happy to be talking to Angela.
Yeah, I am so pleased to have you on today, Jake. And like he said, we're on location. We're in Saratoga, New York, and it's a great place to be. So as you know, thanks for joining. Thank you for subscribing. We're going to cut and light we're going to be smoking the house blend, which Jake will tell us about momentarily. Of course, we got to bring it in. We didn't bring it in. We got to bring it in.
Bring it in.
Boom. So happy you're here. And
happy to be here.
Yeah, we're gonna cut and light, pour something nice, and take it away. All right, so we got 2 tequilas here, and this is what we're doing. I brought this for you.
What is this?
This is for
Tremana.
Yeah. So Jake and I were talking off camera. We'll get a little more into this in a minute. That we both kind of like tequila for the same kind of reasons. So as a thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you very much.
That's for you.
Well, thank you. I will absolutely enjoy this. But I did bring my own tequila with me today. This is Casa Azul. This is one of my favorite tequilas. I believe they have the Blanco as well as a Reposado. And these are about $50. And I have to say, this is some of the best tequila I have ever had. And I absolutely love a good tequila with a cigar.
I'm so looking forward to trying this. He already poured this. This is cool. This bottle is cool. And like you said, it's like the more affordable, especially for me. I've tried the one with the bell, and
it's good.
Through friends that bought it, and I was like, I need to get this for my house, but I'm, well, you got to save up.
Salud.
Cheers. And cheers to you out there.
So nice, so refreshing. So today we're smoking one of the James & Sons house blends. This is what we call the paintbrush. So what you'll notice is really interesting about these, if you can kind of see it on camera, it has sort of this paintbrushy shape. It's a bit of a hybrid of blends. So this is going to be a Dominican binder-filled cigar featuring a shaggy pressed foot, sort of like a paintbrush. As well, it's going to open up with a little bit of a Maduro wrapper. It's going to move into a Candela, a Connecticut, and back to the Maduro. So as you smoke it, you get this great hybrid of flavors that you transist through. It's a really, really nice experience, and this was one of our best sellers last year. Now, all of our house cigars that we make here are actually rolled by a great friend of ours named Franklin Pichardo. He has his own store in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. He rolls all these cigars for us and his store exclusively. You can find him here during the summertime on the weekends rolling our cigars right out front of the store. Very nice man, makes a very nice product. He worked for Arturo Fuente for, I think, pushing 30 years.
So he knows his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, right on light up, the aroma. I love a mixed wrapper like this.
And it's a funky shape.
Yeah.
And you know what? Surprisingly, for being a funky shape, it smokes really well.
Look at it.
Really nice
I like that they call it the paintbrush. I don't think I've had a paintbrush before.
I have never seen this size any other time. But it is, as weird as it looks, a very nice cigar.
So what's his name? The guy that rolls this?
Mr. Franklin Pichardo, formerly of Arturo Fuente Cigars. He's in really good standing and good friends with Carlito Fuente and the Fuente family. He rolled Opus for over 10 years, so he is a certified master roller, one of the best in the country. The man makes a really, really nice product.
So this is James & Sons house blend.
Yes.
But now, does this I'm sorry, tell me his name one more time.
Franklin Pichardo.
Franklin. Does he live in New York? Do you know?
He lives in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so you must have said that, I know. My viewers always know it. They're like, Angela, are you listening? Well, if I'm editing and listening at the same time, I got one ear here, one ear to you guys, getting this done. So I'm always like, say that again. So yeah, how did James we should probably say James & Sons. James is a real person.
Yes, very nice man.
And
great guy to work for.
Yeah, and his son Mo. Do you know how James commissioned, how he found Franklin to say, I want you to do my house blend? Do you know how that came about?
I'm not entirely sure how their business partnership came about. I would say he would be a really great person to talk to in the future. He's a man with many stories and very interesting.
Yeah.
But Franklin's a great guy. He makes a great cigar. If you come down in the summertime on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, he should be out here rolling for us. And just a ton of guys hanging out with him smoking cigars. So it's a really awesome time.
Oh, so I'll have to come back.
You better come back in the summertime.
I'm coming back, interview you, and then we'll talk about the rolling event and all that stuff.
Yeah, Franklin's a really interesting guy.
That'd be cool. Out of the house blends that we saw downstairs, right, there was the Maduro,
Yeah.
they have the Connecticut, and this the paintbrush. We both picked this. We were like, oh, we're gonna grab this for the podcast today. But why? I do love when the wrapper has like the candela, and I love a barber pole. So it's very unique. But why do you have like? Why is this one of your faves of their house blends?
Of the house blends, the paintbrush one is the most interesting shape I've ever come across for a cigar. But one I just love, and we haven't gotten to that point yet, of how the flavors really distinctly transition from the Maduro to the Candela to the Connecticut back into the Maduro. It's not a bombardment of different flavors throughout the entire smoking experience. You go back to the Maduro. Spoiler alert, it's a big pronounced amount of chocolate. I'm a huge fan of this blend. We did really well with these last summer. They were new for us. Franklin, he's always coming up with new stuff all the time, stuff trying out, and this one's been a big hit, and I am a huge fan of this one.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what you think.
Yeah,
this is my favorite from the house blends.
Yeah. So this, so far, it's presenting well. Like I said, the aroma right on light up. That's my favorite part. Once I smell what this is about to do, I get excited. And now we got to put some pictures of your humidor of this shop.
Oh yeah,
up on here.
It's nice.
It's like for cigar lovers, it's like being a kid in a candy shop because they got a lot of good selection here. And now, okay, so we were saying James and Sons, how they're real people. When did this shop open? Do you know?
2007.
Yeah.
It was a partnership with Park Lane Tobacconists, which is now going out of business in Clifton Park.
Yeah, they're going out? No.
Yeah,
because I know they were just doing an event.
I know the business is up for sale.
We gotta. All right, we'll keep the business talk for.
Their business is up for sale. This is just some rumors throughout.
Yeah, we won't put rumors online though. We don't want to blow up anyone's spot or business deal.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, we do follow because my viewers mostly there's a lot of people in New York, but I know that people watch from all over. Really,
shout out to New York.
Yeah, let's cheers to the New York.
Salud, New York.
So you, oops, I hit my mic. But there are a lot of different people from all over the country and other countries that watch us. But what I'm saying is, I don't want to
No, I understand.
They're gonna be like the Albany people, the Capital District people will be like, what's happening at Park Lane? Well, the manager will be like, hey. Anyway. You heard it first here on Puros and Music Podcast, right?
That's how you pronounce that.
Puros.
Puros.
Well, how do you say it?
I thought it was just Puros and Music Podcast.
Well, people say it either way. To be honest with you, it's the inflection of it's like saying tomato, right?
Well, I am a victim of the Department of Public Education, so you're going to have to work with me a little bit.
But I always think of like Winnie the Pooh. Puros, because that's like puros. That's like kind
Cigar
of
and Music Podcast.
Yes. But that's like I guess a Spanish word, I believe, right? For being. And do you know what? Do you know why they call a cigar that?
Puros. Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be if the tobacco all comes from one country. I wonder if you could get any more specific of that. If it's all going to come from one farm, There's not too many Puros out there in the cigar world anymore because so many blends pull tobacco from different companies in different countries to make some of the best cigars out there. I mean, the most notable one that comes to mind is Padron.
Yep.
Full Nicaraguan wrapper binder filler. And they do make a great product.
Yeah, that I'm partial to a Nicaraguan puro. That's kind of like where my go-to old school, like my first cigars when I think back. I mean, I do love, certain, both of us, a cigar aficionado or lover dabbles in, this and that. But if you really had to do brass tacks for me and say you back against the wall, I'd have to say Nicaraguan puro is, give me that all day long.
Of all the countries, including Cuba, Nicaragua is really coming out with the best tobacco in the world right now. And I'll tell you what, with Cuban cigars, there's a big allure of them because they're hard to get. And you know what? I've had a few real ones, and I've had more I didn't like than I actually did like. Just the flavor's not quite there anymore. Maybe it was a few decades ago, but to my understanding is they have so little actual growing fields left anymore.
Yeah.
That what they do have is so over-farmed at this point that all the flavor has been sucked out of that soil. And Nicaragua being new in the cigar market, I'd say, 30, 40 years now, that they really started amping up the cigars, far older than me. That flavor is there, and it offers just a more punchier, fuller flavor, even in their more mild-bodied cigars, as well as their more medium and fulls,
Yeah, well, they have the volcanic, how do you say that? Volcanic ash soil, they say.
Is that what it is?
In Nicaragua, yeah, they say because of the volcanic ash, they have different richness to their soil. But like you said, tilling any soil or farm, even here, like with our corn and our apple orchards here in New York, you have to change your fields, and you can't just keep. You have to whatever a farmer does, which is cool. Have you ever been to the barn smoker put out by Drew Estate?
No, but we did have 2 people come in that we talked to that did go, and they absolutely loved it, and I would love to go at some point.
You gotta come. We gotta go this summer.
Did you go?
I've been many times. Please comment below if you've been to a Drew Estate barn smoker, because here
you gotta tell me about it, because I've never gotten to experience it, and I want to know if it lives up to the hype.
It does, but here's the thing: what I'm trying to say, close. You'd be surprised, close enough to here in Connecticut. Because the tri-state, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, this and that. We're not too far. Are the tobacco fields, and you could walk them. And what's cool is they'll show you how, like we're saying, with the farming of the tobacco, you can't keep pulling the same crop from the same acre. You have to rotate.
I believe they grow one spot for 2 years, and they give it an off year, let it kind of reconstitute, and then they go back again. Yeah,
so that's what's the beauty, I think. Not only the flavor, the relaxing experience of this cigar, but it's also it's a natural product, and it's farming at the core. And I love to also unpack that.
Yeah. I've had quite a few people come into the store that I help out in Humidor that say they're from Connecticut, and how cool it is that they get to see the tobacco fields kind of just on their drive to work. And I've never gotten to experience that because, I love cigars. I really do. I have a lot of passion for these. But truly getting to see, where it really comes from and how it's a plant. You see these kids, right?
Yeah.
And they're really big into the vaping. And the vaping, they go, oh, well, it's just water vapor, man. It can't be bad for you. Well, this is a plant with no additives, grown with human hands, with human touch, and it's just nature. And what's more natural than that?
Oh, yeah. All right, Jake, so we're only in the first third here, but what are you tasting so far on this?
So far, we're still into the shaggy foot of the cigar, and we're just about hitting the Maduro, at least on mine. I'm getting a lot of natural sweetness, as well as some earthy notes to it. Really excited for that Maduro part of the cigar that's going to kick off before we hit the Candela, which I know for a fact, spoiler alert, it's got a lot of chocolate in it. Big fan of chocolate in a cigar.
Oh, me too.
I myself, when it comes to heavier cigars, prefer a far more desserty smoking experience, less pepper,
creamy,
more natural sweetness, and a lot more cocoa notes. Which is probably why my favorite premium blend of all time is the Liga Privada No. 9, which I believe does that the absolute best.
Shout out to Drew Estate.
Shout out Drew Estate.
That
talking. Be there. You may see me and my awesome jacket.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to his jacket near the end because we're gonna do the music portion of Puros and music later on. Of course.
If anybody likes hardcore music.
Oh yeah, Jake's got some good taste in music. That's why I love to talk about the music. We'll get to that later because I love everything from Mozart to metal. I mean, that's a good way to put it. So, but yeah. So I love the Candela. It's going to give it another depth of flavor. So when we get to that, we're almost both both at the same level here. And the band, like the artwork too.
It's got the store logo on it.
James and Sons. Yeah, what's the story behind the dog? I'm going to put a picture. But what's the story behind? Is that a family dog?
No, I don't actually know the story of the dog. I think what it was there's a lot of classic art out there, I guess you could say classic, of bulldogs smoking cigars. The painting of the dogs, they're playing cards and smoking cigars. I think they really like that quite a bit, despite the fact it is a horse racing town. Missed opportunity. But yeah, I think it's a great logo. We've done a lot of great T-shirts out of this. Yeah.
Cool.
Not a super interesting story about it, but it is, I think, one of the more distinctive logos out of cigar shops. You know, how do you do a good logo with a cigar shop? I mean, other than
No,
cigar.
this one's pretty kick-ass. I mean, the dog.
You like it?
Oh yeah, because he's got the derby hat on.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'll put a picture. It's so cute. So okay, so I want to know, and the people are going to want to know, because what is your history with cigars? So here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
To me, you're a young man.
Yes.
We're not going to say our ages, but I'm Gen X, and
the cool generation.
Okay. Yeah. I love how they say "f around and find out," because we're and I've been seeing online too. They say we grew up feral, but it's kind of true. But anyway, I digress. But so this is my question: Did you come across cigars through either movies or your friends, or like on your own, or was there like a grandpa in your life or an uncle that you were like maybe 6 or 8, and then you were like, I like the smell of cigars? It was always in the back of your mind, and you're like, I'm gonna get into this one day. So what do you think? Like, what's your history of that?
You ready to get deep? Let's get deep.
Let's get deep. We're drinking tequila, so we're anything I could say. Yes, absolutely. We could say anything. It's gonna come. I told Jake though, we're gonna keep the cursing to a low because we're on broadcast here.
All right, so you ready? So, how do I start this? When I was 17, I was in the Boy Scouts of America for 8 years. I am now passively an adult leader in my troop in Columbia County. But when I was 17, I actually worked at our summer camp.
Yeah.
For the whole summer, I was off grid, no internet, no cell service whatsoever, and I come home, and come to find out, my stepmother had been cheating on my father. We're getting there. We're going to a place, right?
Dun, dun,
and
dun.
I come home in this house I've lived in since I was 4.
Wait, please don't tell me you found this.
No.
Some I hear stories they see the cheating. We don't. This could be good. This is like unpacking. We're unpacking.
My dad's been kicked out of the house. And he has moved to another part of town, in my house. My stepmother's new boyfriend that she had met has now since moved in. So I want you to keep in mind, I was 17 at the time as a young man. That's a tough age anyway, emotionally, hormones going on. I had a really rough senior year, and I had a lot of resentment. Still a lot of resentment. I don't speak to my stepmother still to this day, and even some of that side of the family. Don't feel bad.
Yeah, we're gonna. Listen, I'm a mom, so you're pulling at my heartstrings. So, but you're saying your stepmom cheated.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
I got more stories for you later if you want to hear.
This could get juicy, guys.
Smoking was actually because I had so much resentment that I wanted to do everything I was told not to do, and one of that was smoking. So nobody in my family smoked.
I was going to say, so the answer to that was like you don't have a grandfather memory. That's not what's...
So I would pay this coworker, Pete,
Yeah.
to go to Stewart's for me, and he would buy me like the Garcia Vega, like crappy cigarellos and stuff.
Yep.
And so I would go down. So in this old house, my bedroom's in the basement, and so in this basement was like mostly furnished. The whole walls were like surrounded in bookcases, but there was a door to where we kept like the water softener and like the boiler. And there was a little hallway that kind of skirted around the back.
You sneak in the cigars?
It was just filled with like pipes and dirt and like cobwebs. Yeah. But over there, kind of by where my bedroom was, was this little one of those basement like 3/4 windows that you could like prop up. I would come home from work at like 11 o'clock.
And you're 17.
Yeah, I'm 17 with these little cigarellos.
With some angst in you.
Oh yeah. And there was an old cooler that was back there, and I would sit on that cooler in the darkness, surrounded by pipes and cobwebs and bugs, and I would pop open that little quarter window, and I would sit down there, and I would smoke, and that was my rebellious phase against all that was going on. And then I moved up here when I was 18. I was still smoking the gas station cigarillos.
Yeah, sure. Somebody, you got to start somewhere.
Now, how I got the premium cigars...
I have to ask you, though.
Yeah.
Did you get the green? You know how some people, when they smoke cigars, did you know not to inhale?
Yes.
Okay, you knew.
I never.
Now, who, like,
liked
why
inhalers.
why do you think you picked the cigar? You said the guy gave it to you from the gas station, but, like, why do you think, like, your grab was for the cigar, not the cigarette? I'm just kind of curious.
Well, the first
Because,
cigar you could
and you
say,
knew, because, like, how did you know not to inhale? Because some people, they don't realize, being that I'm into this, some of my friends who have quit cigarettes,
yeah.
they'll say to me, like, oh, I want to try the cigar. But then, like, right, they're kind of used to inhaling the cigarette.
I've
And so you got to,
experienced that.
yeah, so you kind of train them to, because you cannot, and I say this every time, you do not inhale
No,
cigars.
do not
You do
inhale.
not.
You're going to get very sick.
Yeah, so how did that, I mean, you were 17, so how did you have the wherewithal to know not to get green?
Yeah, so I was a very vanilla child, we'll say. Very young. I hadn't tasted alcohol until I was 20.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
I was in culinary school, so I was part of the BOCES program where our school, they bussed us over with a few other schools we would meet there, and I would learn culinary arts. Great program. Love
Yeah,
BOCES,
great
sports
program.
trades. And
I
one day,
support that.
do you? Good.
Oh, yeah.
One day I got a ride home from a classmate of mine, and he was smoking backwoods in his car on his way home, and he let me have a backwoods while I was there and told me, like, you just kind of puff it. And I know backwoods, you really just kind of put weed in them. But, they are a very smokable product with okay tobacco in them.
Yeah.
So as far as the stuff you can get at a gas station, those aren't bad. It was a backwoods honeyberry. And I was like, you know what, this is pretty cool. I kind of like this. It was nice, relaxing. I was really enjoying it. So, my coworker Pete, he would get me backwoods and Garcia Vega cigarellos and stuff like that, and white owls. And that was kind of the start. And then,
White owls. A lot of people start with those, too.
I like the peach. The peach was my favorite.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I moved up here, and how I got into premium cigars was after I moved up here to Saratoga. I'm from Hudson, New York. I was working in this restaurant as a dishwasher, and one of our bartenders during track season, here at Saratoga, we've got the Saratoga race course, really big if you're into horse racing.
Yeah,
It's
let
a
me
lot
tell
of
the
fun.
people because you say track, because my kids ran track in school, right? So
Yeah.
track, not track and field running.
Yeah.
Track, this, I'm sure people know, but if you don't, this is the famous, I mean, it goes back to the 1800s, right? Maybe
It's
even
the
before that.
oldest
Maybe the
operating race
1700s,
course
yeah.
in the country.
Yeah, yep, in the country. And so, like I said, if you're not from New York, but if you're watching this, actually, please comment below if you've heard of it, because it right, 1700s probably.
1800s. I think 1860-ish,
Yeah.
1880-ish.
Yeah.
It's older than you think.
Yeah, so when we say
And
track,
a lot of it, you go over there, still original.
yeah, it's so cool. So when we say track around here, it means horses.
It's the horse race track.
Yeah, because even by me in Hudson, there's still, I think it's Applejack Farm, and there's others where they're still doing, like, oh, sorry, I hit the mic, horse training, horse race. There's, like, horses down by me that are training for Saratoga.
Yeah.
But anyhow.
If you follow horse racing at all, famous horse racing trainer Dale Roman, he hangs out here almost every day in the summertime, going through his programs and his numbers, watching the races and hanging out with us. He's a really cool guy if you ever get to meet him.
Yeah. It's something definitely to touch upon, being that we're here in Saratoga. So anyway, so you're saying about the tracks, you were saying with the cigars, and
Yeah, so during track season, I was working as a dishwasher in there, and like, there's a lot of, it's a big event for people when they go to the horse race track. They dress up, they wear fancy hats. They
the
smoke
fascinators,
cigars.
the fascinators.
Is that what it is?
Because I went to a gala once. Actually, I DJ'd. You people that know me, I used to, DJ for 20 years. I dabble in it now, but I used to be more heavy into the events, the weddings. Now it's more like I moved away from weddings. I'm just doing my own type of events.
Nice.
But I did one of those parties once. Man, it was so cool.
Was it?
Yeah, that like the sideways
Big
hat
old
that the
hats.
lady. Yeah,
There's a couple of nice hat
the
stores here in town.
fascinators. It was so much fun, and people are dressed to the nines.
Oh yeah, and they do at the track, and some are dressed trashy because it is still a place of gambling. But working there, our bartender, he was tipped with, I think it was a Monte Cristo White Series, and I was the only one that worked there that like smoked tobacco at all. So he just gave it to me, and that was like my first real cigar. And it was a phenomenal cigar. Now, that may not be my favorite cigar anymore, and I myself am actually a big fan of mild-bodied Connecticut's. That's no longer in my top 10 as far as Connecticut's
Monte
go.
Cristo
Yeah, the White Series.
Yep.
That's in a lot of humidors around.
Yep.
Really good cigar. But every once in a while, I still will pick that up as sort of
Nostalgic?
Yeah, nostalgia. You could say it's my early days of smoking
Me too.
cigars.
The Monte Cristo White. There's another one I can't think of it right now. But I've heard some people say, and I want your opinion on this, that there isn't a starter cigar. But I kind of think like a Monte Cristo White. Like some of my friends, like I said, if they said to me, Angela, I did smoke cigarettes. I'm not sure how I'm going to transition to cigars. I'm not sure how I could not inhale, that habit. I tend to say like the Perdomo champagne.
That's a good one.
As like a first.
Yeah.
And the Monte Cristo White, but like, and there's others. But then, like I said, some people say there's no true first cigar. But you and I, we both like Maduro as well.
Yeah.
Like we love the Connecticut, but we also like the Maduro, which some people would say like, that's not a first cigar, but I moved quickly from the Monte Cristo White straight into a Maduro myself.
If you have like nicotine tolerance from either at this point doing Zins or smoking cigarettes or the strongest thing, which is dip, heavier cigars if you're starting out aren't going to bother you as much. Now, me coming from a neutral vanilla perspective where I had never really experienced nicotine, I had to start with the more mild stuff.
Yes.
And that's what, I work at the store here, and that is what I recommend to new smokers as well. It's just an easier start. When I was new and my palate was really fresh, those more potent, fuller-bodied cigars with a lot of flavor was just a little bit too much for me. I remember one of our members here, he gave me a cigar recommendation when I was new and first coming in here. Bill Carley, love that guy, if you ever get to talk to him. He gave me a Tatuaje Fausto, which is one of the more full-bodied cigars in the Tatuaje lineup.
I love Tatuaje.
I like Tatuaje. Good pronounced cayenne pepper spiciness to that blend. And I keep in mind, I've really only been smoking like mild-bodied Connecticut's, but when I had that cigar, I was here. I thought I needed a glass of milk. That was a tough cigar to smoke.
Yeah.
I'm good, guys. I'm good.
Yeah, that's the thing. When that's the thing about saying a first cigar. It's not just, in my opinion, like the flavor profile, because some people say, oh, your palate, but also, like you said, the strongness of the nicotine. We don't want to knock out, like a 21-year-old and be like, it's also like your body's tolerance too, maybe, of like the strength. But then there's not the argument, but there's the education of knowing the difference between what a Maduro can do as like there's strength and there's flavor, right? So not always the darkest cigar means the highest level of nicotine. So there's that. But like you said, I mean, just in all honesty, if you're, like you said, when you were 17, you don't want to be knocked on your butt. No. Like, just like looping out on like, Also, if you're puffing at it real fast, you don't want to be like knocked out because, it is what it is. But
and you know what, though? That is an older stereotype.
Yeah.
More people, I think, have come to realize that just because the tobacco leaf is darker doesn't make it stronger. Some of the stronger cigars I have had more lighter colored, I could say dark, not Connecticut, but more lighter colored wrappers on them. And a lot of great true medium bodied and sometimes mild to medium bodied cigars I've had really dark Maduros. One that comes to mind, the McAuliffe A. I love McAuliffe, almost everything that they make. Really, really great stuff, outstanding value. The A is a really dark, classic Maduro blend with a really nice pronounced natural sweetness and just a nice cocoa note. And it's a really great cigar, but like it could be off-putting to some people because that wrapper is just really on the dark side, but really it's not that heavy. Yeah,
that's the education of that.
Yeah.
Knowing the darkness to the strength ratio.
And really, you just kind of got to try everything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I smoke everything under the sun. I am a bit more partial to Connecticut's, specifically Nicaraguan binder-filled Connecticut's with an Ecuadorian wrap. I think that is the best recipe you can have for a Connecticut. Some of the top sellers out there, Drew Estate Undercrown Shade, which was one of my top recommendations for a long time, still one of my favorite cigars. I believe the My Father Connecticut as well. Perdomo, of course, being Nicaraguan. Just some of the best stuff.
I think
this
tequila's hitting me. It's hitting me, and I'm loving it.
Salud.
Salud. It's hitting me. So follow along, people. Please definitely comment below if you're smoking along with us. comment.
Drinking with
and
us.
drinking. Yeah, tell us what you're drinking. And so yeah, this is beautiful. I gotta buy some of that.
Casa Azul is awesome.
And the blue bottle is so nice.
You know, with alcohol, I don't mean to cut you off.
No. I gotta get some of this for my house. I mean,
people are really into like drinking bourbon and whiskeys and stuff with cigars, and there's definitely a place for that, and I do really enjoy it myself. But you know what though, is the more money you spend on whiskey doesn't make it any better. But you know, with tequila, it does. It really does. The more money you spend on tequila, it does get better.
You heard it here from Jake first.
I love tequila. And, you know, Casa Azul, not sponsored by any means, but is such a personal favorite of mine because you see the giant ceramic bottle in the bell, and it's awesome that they have an entry-level tequila. Like, this retails here in New York for $50.
Yeah.
I have had more expensive tequilas that were not as good. Like, my big kick for a long time was a Herradura Ultra.
Yeah.
It was really nice pronounced vanilla note. Love that. But that's like $65 here now. And this being $50, and I think is better. Such a slam dunk. Because, you know, buying alcohol is kind of a crapshoot if you're trying it for the first time.
Well, yeah, because that's a lot of money to sink in. But I also feel that way about cigars. Because in my early reviews, when I've had certain, even I dare say $100 cigar, they don't present. I mean, to me, and I've said this many times, you could get an $8 cigar, a $12 cigar, and to be honest with you, in my opinion, way better than 80 plus.
Absolutely.
I mean, it also depends on your palate, but if you really are an aficionado and know how like to retrohale, and do you retrohale?
When I think about it, I will.
Yeah, and I find that if you know the nuances of like what to smoke and like find those hidden gems, like I said, like a $12 stick, you can get a really great experience and not spend 3 times as much. I mean, that's just, I know we all find that to be true. But you were saying with me smoking cigars, I find that when I like to go to, shout out to Havana Dreams in Queens, New York, that if you haven't been to that lounge and you're looking for a new lounge to check out, go there. There's lots of ladies down in there.
The only reason to visit Queens.
What, to go to Havana Dreams?
Yep.
Well, listen. This is an upstate guy.
What else
My roots are from Brooklyn, actually Brooklyn and Queens, and then I grew up on Long Island. So they by the time I was born, they were like, let's go to the suburbs. So
I've never been to New York City.
You've never been to New York City?
I've never had a reason.
You see my
to
face, Jake? We gotta take him to the Barn Smoker, and I gotta take you there. Come on.
Well, you know, people go,
you gotta go to Havana Dreams.
The food is amazing. All right, what else is there for me to
Well,
see?
you're a foodie and you're a chef, but so you know, but the food here is amazing. In Saratoga, the food here is amazing.
Fun fact,
because we have that type of like environment here. Yeah.
To my knowledge, Saratoga has the second most restaurants per capita, second in New York City.
Yep, I know that's true. Yeah.
Saratoga has a population
because it's an old
but it's a big touristy place.
Yeah,
population of like 28,000 or so
during the
and there is a lot of places to eat here.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, so
what am I gonna go see in New York City? Times Square?
See my face? No. See, that's the thing.
Am I gonna go eat at the Applebee's?
Don't do touristy things. No.
I love touristy things.
No, I don't.
What is touristy
I was
in New York
just down.
City?
I was just down in the city. If anyone saw my post, and I was just down at Rex Barclay. I'm sure you've heard of that lounge.
I have not.
This is if you listen. And I slept down in like Lower Manhattan. You can't really actually. I mean, because I'm from New York. I mean, we're in the city area in Long Island, but my aunt lived in the city. So when I was growing up, and like I said, my mom's from Brooklyn. So I had, to us, she's like, don't, she'll be like, don't look up at the buildings. Don't walk and look up at the buildings. You're going to look like a tourist. So like, if you know it, you know where the hidden gems are.
Because they're like New York City people. I imagine this part of upstate New York isn't really New York to them. Like, because half the population of New York State is in New York City, the other half is upstate. And, like, the last time I went to Florida... It
splits down the middle, actually. Yeah. You'd be surprised because there's, like, right at Westchester. Yeah, if you
go past Westchester, there's nothing north of there. For, like, 4 hours. There's nothing to see. And that's where I'm from, and I love my nothing. It's awesome. from Columbia County. You know what there is to see? Nothing.
Wait, so did you go to high school in Columbia County?
I did. I graduated Hudson High School.
All right, Hudson.
Town
Shout
of
out to Hudson, and Hudson Valley. So have you been to Iron Horse?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another lounge we like to promote.
Now, I didn't really start smoking cigars until after I had moved here, but times I had visited Hudson,
Yeah.
I did stop at Iron
Yeah.
Horse, even their old location, if you'd ever seen, which was on Warren Street, up towards the top, which was actually behind one of my best friend's houses, up there in that little park where the fountain is.
Yeah.
Used to be by Governor's Tavern, was where Iron Horse was.
Governors.
Yeah. And anytime I'd gone in there, it was mostly just like local firefighters hanging out.
Oh yeah, the firefighters. Thank you for your service.
We
Thank
love
you.
firefighters. Shout out to firefighters. Everybody loves firefighters.
Yes, shout out to
Salute,
firefighters.
firefighters.
Salute. Yes, and police officers. I do find they're in the lounge. I used to. That actually was my first experience. And in my last broadcast, I said the MTA workers, the train guys.
A lot of guys with mustaches hang out in
I
cigar
love it.
shops.
The
People with
fi-
mustache jobs, corrections officers, cops,
Totally.
firefighters.
See, one of my sons, he's sporting a mustache now. He's 19. He just turned 19. He wants to be an officer.
Perfect. For
So I'm
hanging
like,
out in
you're
cigar
ready.
shops.
Yeah, I'm like, you're ready for. You got that mustache, but he's a criminal justice major, and he's like, Mama, I'm gonna be smoking cigars with you one day. I'm like, you certainly are.
Who got you into cigars? My cool mom, who smokes cigars.
I tell
All
you.
the coolest ladies smoke cigars.
Try. Okay, so it's time to talk music.
I love music.
I mean, can you see Jake's coat? I mean, he's got Motorhead, Pantera,
Let me-
patches, Black Sabbath. I mean, it's
I got
everything.
a ton of patches. Let me go through some of the patches. I got an Alice Cooper patch. I saw him live. He's awesome. Pantera patch, Death patch, Patchy, the mascot of Pull the Plug patches, where I got a lot of these patches from. Venom. I love Venom. My favorite terrible band of all time. Absolute horrible band, and I love their music. We got Municipal Waste.
Oh, cool. Where are they out of?
I don't know where Municipal Waste is out of, but a really good thrash metal band out.
Did you
nowadays.
see most of these guys live, or like half of these patches you've seen live?
I haven't seen a lot of these guys are now retired.
Oh well, that yeah.
Slayer now retired. Black Flag retired. I mean, the real Black Flag is retired. Black Flag, I love Black Flag. If some good classic punk rock music against the system. Pantera, one of my absolute favorites from the 101 live proof live album, one of the best live albums.
Can we
of
talk
heavy
about
metal music.
Pantera?
You wanna talk about Pantera?
Yeah, because one of them. See, I'm from the cassette era.
Ooh.
Now you're a
Awesome.
podcast, right? I think you're first. Is it safe to say when you were first buying your first music in your senior year of high, or whatever it was, or maybe even like 7th grade, was it on a podcast? I mean, what's not a Jesus, a podcast? What the heck is it called? iPod.
Oh, well, I'll tell you.
Where did you Yeah, you could push that out a little bit if you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I got
Because
into,
did you have any CDs, or that's not really your era, right?
Well, I'll tell you how I got into a lot of this great classic heavy
Yeah.
music was my dad actually.
Yeah.
Was really big into a lot of these bands, as well as playing Guitar Hero growing up.
Oh.
Shaped a lot of how I
Yeah.
like music, because growing up, like, we'd be in the car riding the way to school, and it would just be Sirius XM pop hits 100, just the top 100 songs.
Well, yeah. If your parents are putting on, I did that with my kids too. The
2008,
boring,
and
like the kids hits.
At the time,
You're like, give me some Pantera, guys.
At the time, I hated that music, but now I like it for nostalgic reasons. But playing Guitar Hero just shaped how I like music. Because my dad was really big into like ZZ Top and Deep Purple and Zeppelin, like a little bit of Metallica, and probably the album that really pushed me into more heavier music.
Yeah.
One of my favorite patches here is actually White Zombie, which I have on the pocket here. Now, of all the music I listened to in junior high school, I left all that behind.
Yeah.
White Zombie is the only band that I still love from junior high school. You think of junior high school, it's like I was pretty cringe and lame, so I don't like to think about it. I will never listen to Disturbed ever again.
Oh.
I was so into a lot of the Avenged Sevenfold. No offense to those.
Yeah,
bands
see,
and what they
you know
listen
what's funny? If I could interject, because for me, my time of that same, like my youth, Prince, right? So big, so huge.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
today, he still gets legendary props. But because of like what I was going through and certain things when I was young, or my parents divorced, this and that, it's crazy to say. But if Prince comes on the radio, if I hear him at the supermarket, I'm like, ooh, because as great as he is, I mean, he played like, I don't know, 17 instruments. It has like a weird vibe for me because I have weird memories of like when I was in junior high and younger.
We
of,
leave
like,
all
right,
those
so I hear what
behind.
you're saying. I hear what you're saying because like even though, right, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. And, my dad, he sort of liquidated his CD collection, and I took a bunch of those.
Oh, you took, okay.
Nice 3-piece stereo growing up. There were a 5-disc CD changer.
Oh, nice.
So, like,
I know which one you're talking about.
Panasonic.
I know. But so you had a Pantera CD. Is that safe to say?
I believe I got...
Because as a music head, we need to know.
I believe I got Cowboys from Hell and Vulgar Display of Power from him.
Yeah.
Nowadays, my favorite album is Far Beyond Driven.
Yes.
Where they took it to the next...
Yes,
level.
I'm listening to that too.
That
Which
is
one's the grave? Which one is Cemetery? Cemetery Gates? Which
That's
one's
Cowboys from Hell, I think.
Okay. Do you like that song?
Yeah.
I love Cemetery Gates.
I will say a lot of the more
That's like
radio
11-minute
played
song.
songs I don't listen to as much.
Yeah.
Heard them so much.
Yeah.
Like I'm more like in high school, like Metallica was my favorite band, but I've really grown out of Metallica. Not to be an elitist, but a little mainstream, little poser-ish. You know what I mean? I will say though, Kill 'Em All is my favorite.
Listen to
thrash
this
metal.
guy, posers.
Yeah.
See the difference of opinion. I love it. I wouldn't say they're posers, but I hear what you're saying. Because like I just said about Prince, I mean, you take it or you leave what you...
Let's get controversial.
Because I could,
Metallica in the 90s.
Because I could say,
They sold out for radio play.
Well,
they divulged away from the true thrash metal roots that they came from.
What was the
Now,
first,
I still believe Kill 'Em All is one of the best
Me
thrash
too.
metal albums of all time.
I'm trying to think of
and
the song.
because it was written by Dave Mustaine of Megadeth, which is probably the best thrash metal band of all time.
It's a good argument to get into. No, I totally agree because I think James Hetfield they had beef. But
don't get me
when
wrong.
I-
Metallica's more successful. There's arguments that they're a better band. They have more fans. But you know what, though? Megadeth has more good albums than Metallica has. How many good albums did Metallica have? If you're talking about thrash metal, first 3. If you like hard rock because it became hard rock, Black Album, very mainstream, very sellout.
It is, yeah. MTV. They called in my day. They called it MTV release.
Nobody listened to anything after.
But why can't I? I'm escaping the. I can't think of the song. The major song from Metallica.
Enter Sandman. It's on the radio
from
6
like
times
from
a day.
Kill 'Em All.
Oh, Kill 'Em All. All those songs are good. Seek and Destroy.
Oh, I can't. It's just
Re-listen to that album
It's
because it is
escaping
one of the
me.
best thrash metal albums of all time.
But yeah, no, I've been a Metallica fan since day one. But that's my age. But like you said, but if your dad turned you on to certain things, because Pantera isn't your generation, so to speak. But you're still
My generation music sucked.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
24. What was good in 08?
I don't know.
Heavy metal died in early 2000s, and I know that's really stretching it because some people say it died in the 90s, which it kind of did.
Well, we were talking
but
about.
there were still some good bands that kept making music through the 90s. What do I got?
Are you a Nine Inch Nails fan?
I
Or
wish
have
I
you
liked
been
Nine Inch
exposed?
Nails,
Okay.
but I just don't enjoy it. But I want to be a fan, but I just don't.
See, because we were talking off camera about Ice Nine Kills, which you don't really know, and that to
I've
you
never
is
heard
more
any of their
new
music.
stuff. But to me, that's what's coming out lately in the last 10 years. But Ice Nine Kills, I love them. But that's my son turned me on to that, and that's kind of but they all stem from all what you're saying. The roots of Megadeth. You can't. They stand on the shoulders of Megadeth.
Yeah, all those new bands take great inspiration from some of the greats.
Oh, for
and
sure.
And there's a lot in the past 10 years that has just back-to-back solid albums.
Well, that's what I'm saying too. They don't. Well, a lot has changed over the years. A lot has changed.
One good song and 9 filler songs you never have to hear.
Well, let's unpack. Can we talk about Pantera?
You want to talk about Pantera? I love Pantera.
So now, you were talking Guitar Hero? Yeah, that's a cool.
I loved Guitar
Hero.
Now,
did we mentioned that Jake? You made this. We mentioned that.
I made this
myself.
That's
cool.
This
I like it. It's badass.
This was my COVID project. So before I worked here as just a regular person that hung out here, when kind of stuff started opening up and they could kind of let people hang out here, And in businesses, again, I got a ton of cool patches.
Yeah, you do. You do.
This was my COVID project. So on Thursdays, I would come in and smoke like 2 cigars and listen to radio or music. And I would just stitch in here, making this thing. This is actually version 2 that I've made. 'Cause version 1, I gained a lot of weight and doesn't fit anymore, unfortunately. But this is version 2. There was something really therapeutic about stitching these. I did all of these by hand, no machines.
I bet it was
all by hand.
Calming. I find certain hobbies, and it's like calming.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's
therapeutic's a good word.
a good personal representation, I could say, is making clothes like this is real calming and really fun. I like it. It's a good expression of myself, self-expression.
Yeah, I like that.
I enjoy it quite a bit. I'll say with cigars, here's a little something about men. Maybe you didn't know this. Is guys
Tell us.
have a hard time just talking to each other out of the blue that don't know each other. And what's great about a cigar in a cigar lounge is it's a catalyst of commonality to speak upon. And for a lot of guys, it's sports and a bar, like what team you supporting, what are you drinking, what are you doing, and the cigars. We're both having a cigar, so it's like, hey, what are you smoking? How's your cigar? Because for guys, it's hard to just kind of start talking to a strange person.
It's a nice conversation starter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And some of the best conversations come out of it. And
you heard it here first,
absolutely.
guys. Jake is telling you.
But for time constraints,
We got to button this up. We're going to have Jake on again.
I would love
Definitely.
to be on again. I have a lot of fun doing this.
he knows a lot about cigars.
He's a good conversationalist. We'll dive deeper into music the next time. But like I said, comment below if you've been to this area of New York. We'd like to know.
Saratoga's awesome. Come visit. Come say hi. Come talk to me.
That's right.
Any of the guys that work here, everybody's really cool.
Yep. So are you ready to do the toast?
Absolutely. Let's get my drink.
Okay, so here's to cheating,
fighting,
stealing, and drinking.
And if you cheat, may you cheat death.
if you steal, may you steal the heart of people you love.
And if you fight, may you fight for your friends.
And if you drink,
may you drink to us
together. Cheers.
Salud.
Alasante. And cheers to you out there. We'll see you next time.